welcome to The Vibe. Before we get into this vlog, I want to make a quick intro. Last summer I went to Alaska in June of 2022. I'd really been contemplating for the longest time if whether or not I wanted to release this vlog. Essentially, my family and I haven't been to Alaska for a hot minute, for almost more than a decade. And the reason why we went to Alaska was because my grandmother had passed away, and so we were saying our final goodbyes and she was laid to rest during that time. And so honestly, I did not know if I even wanted to do a vlog because we had to go home for a very unfortunate reason. However, because I haven't visited Alaska in a very long time, I still recorded a lot of the places that we visited, and looking back at the footage almost a year later, I kind of want to show you guys. There really isn't that much talking in this vlog. It's just a lot of aesthetics and visuals and montages, so I hope you all still enjoy this. Now on to the vlog. Hi, this is voiceover Ethan taking over. Because we had a 12+ hour layover, we wanted to explore Seattle as much as possible, and so our first stop was at Seafood City. If you don't know what Seafood City is, it's a must-go-to Filipino grocery store in the States. Let me tell y'all, I kind of went off and bought so many pastries for breakfast and our flight later that night. Honestly, we spent most of our morning at the South Center Mall eating at Filipino restaurants. This is me with my once long highlighted hair. We even shopped at Daiso, which is a Japanese store. It was just a fun time coming back to Seafood City. I remember the line to Jollibee, which is a Filipino fried chicken joint, had the longest line when we were there. We also rented a hotel for the day so that we were able to relax and recuperate since we didn't get that much sleep. This was me after a fat nap, hair lopsided, you already know, enjoying some Spanish bread that I bought at Valerio's. We eventually wanted to explore the city even more, and so in the late afternoon, we drove around downtown Seattle. Personally, Seattle has always been a favorite city of mine. I'm very much a city person, and so I love the colors and the calming aura that Seattle has. We really wanted to park and walk around, however, there weren't really places for us to park, and if there were, they were pretty much full. And so we visited our go-to stop, which is this one right here that overlooked Seattle. I'm gonna put the address here somewhere if you're going to Seattle anytime soon. And shout out to my brother Isaiah for taking my photos, but this was a place that we always went to every time we visited Seattle to take pictures, because you can even see the Space Needle. Eventually, night came and we were freaking out because we were low-key late to the airport. But here are some of our last moments chilling in Seattle. We boarded our plane for our almost 4-hour flight to Anchorage. I just remembered I was so tired since we arrived at around 2 or 3 a.m. But it was so good stepping out of the airport, seeing the sky in the middle of the night. By this time we were waiting for a taxi, and luckily our hotel wasn't too far. But once we got there, it was probably about 4 a.m. and we just slept that night. Day 2, baby! It's day 2 in sunny Anchorage. We were able to rent a car early in the morning for our whole trip. Our first day in Alaska was mainly focused on preparing for my grandmother's funeral, running some errands, as well as visiting many places. We used to live in Alaska, and so we mainly visited places that we always went to back then. We visited some local favorites like this Filipino-Hawaiian restaurant. We got some halo-halo, which is an iced Filipino dessert with flan, ube ice cream, and just a lot of ingredients. One of my fondest memories on day 2 was getting this sweater. If you aren't familiar with this sweater, at least to me, it looked like Rue's sweater from Euphoria. I was so hyped. But anyways, by the time it was 10 p.m., we went swimming. And something that really tripped me to freak out was how it was literally golden hour by the time it was 10. I was trying to be all aesthetic with my videos, but it was really tripping me out that it was almost midnight. Before we get into day 3, this is just a little commercial break. If you're very much into this type of vlog, which is mainly focused on visuals and aesthetically pleasing photos, you should definitely follow my second Instagram account, which is called Visualized by EJ. I like to think of it as my visual mood board, and I've been posting a lot of stuff there, stuff that I like, stuff that I've taken. And so if you're into that, definitely check out my Instagram. That's it. Subscribe if you like the vibe. On to day number 3. So we are here in Alaska, and it's been like, I don't know how many years now. This is so nice. Day 4 was pretty much a sad day, as it was my grandmother's funeral service and burial. This was me after getting a hold of myself crying, but not me taking these 2 hours later looking like I came back from prom. Anyways, I made a short film about my grandmother for her service, and here are just some clips of it. My grandmother had lived in Alaska for a portion of her life. I remember visiting her throughout my childhood in Anchorage, and we had bonded in so many ways, and I've learned so much about life from her that I'll be taking with me into my adult years. We got to the hotel pretty late, and I remember we were trying to find a place to eat dinner. However, almost every restaurant we were trying to go to closing up because it was getting pretty late, and so honestly, we just had Domino's that night. Now on day 5 and 6, I genuinely did not record or vlog a lot, mainly because we spent time visiting more family friends before we left. Also, I was just using that time to sort of process a lot after her service. We did, however, drive around that afternoon to sightsee even more. Just to cheer me up, I even put on a temporary sleeve tattoo, and we just took photos at this stop on the highway. In times of grief and mourning, it is definitely so important to have a structured support system around you to bounce back on. For me, that's family, that's God, and people in my life who I trust most. Day 6, which was our last day, was spent mostly packing. Our flight wasn't until later in the evening, so we had the whole day to pack. We finished the day off by eating a late brunch with family friends at a Korean restaurant. I ordered naengmyeon, which is a refreshing cold noodle soup, perfect for the summer. Our family friends then dropped us off to the airport afterward, and that really concludes our Alaska trip. I genuinely had so much fun. I learned so much, and just looking back at these videos and pics I took, I was so glad to capture Anchorage in just a couple days during the summer. I hope everyone enjoyed this short, spontaneous vlog to Alaska. Again, if you like the vibe, go on ahead and subscribe. See you in the next one.